Hey guys, this is Mary Jane, and we are now in our part 2 of 100 things you can do to improve your English. So, let's move on to the next parts. Now we are in our 7th tip on how you're going to improve your English. So, try to do a lesson at least once a day. Some students have lessons 2 or 3 times or even 4 times a day, and I remember I had a student who booked a lesson for like 8 hours. Yes, it was tiring on his part because he was really too exhausted to think about a lot of things in English, and I'm not sure if he was able to learn a lot of things about English also. So it's not really advisable to spend too many hours studying English. So at least once a day would be the perfect time for you to speak in English and think in English too. All right, moving on to 8. So memorization of lists is one of the most common ways of learning vocabulary for a test. So it's only a good exercise for short-term studying because you often do not really retain the information that you have learned for a test. So it's very different if you're going to do memorization for a test and if you're going to just really study English. So because in a test, you're going to really force yourself to memorize so many things. And it's not really good if you're going to do the same thing for just learning English. So it's really very different. So memorization is only good if you're going to have an exam. Moving on to number 9. So this is also very, very vital in your English study. Use your body clock. So this would mean that if you're not a morning person, you can study in the afternoon. Or if you are, let's say, not a night owl, then you study in the morning. So it just really is, it will just depend on your body clock and when you're going to be comfortable when you're going to study English. All right, moving on to 10. You will find words easier to remember if you try to remember an example sentence using that word rather than the word on its own. So it's very easy for us to remember certain words, but it's easier for us to remember the meaning of the word if it is used in sentences. So if you're going to find a new word, try to put it in a sentence and then try to remember that sentence. Or you can also create other sentences. So like the one we had in our first video, so you have to be able to use a word at least 3 times when you're going to speak. Next, let's have 11. Plan to take a test. You'll find that you work harder when you need to study for something. So you're not really obliged to take a test, but if you want to test yourself or challenge yourself on how well you have improved or have mastered the English language, so I would recommend that you take a test. It doesn't have to be like in the near future. Maybe as you go along the way and you feel that you have improved, then take a test. Next, let's have 12. Saying that it's better not to study just to take a test. Think of the bigger picture and what the future holds for you. So what can you do when you have a good command of English? How will the quality of your life improve? So some people just study English and then they will just say, oh, a test is not really necessary for me. But how will you know that you have improved on your speaking skills, on your writing skills, your reading skills, and then your listening skills if you do not even try to gauge, let's say, the level that you already have? So you can also think of, let's say, the possibilities of what will happen if you do ace a test. So I think it would really be life-changing for you too.